of engines can be affected by many factors, and it doesn't really rely on the fuel alone. Yes, fuel may play a part. As an example, there are vehicles that were manufactured post 1998. Those vehicles do not perform very well at ULP93, but vehicles that were manufactured pre-1998 can perform very well at ULP95, which means ULP95 is actually a better product because it's it can be used by any type of engine or any type of vehicle, whereas ULP93 is only susceptible to older vehicles. And there are vehicles sitting chatse how did tell ULP93 the performance reduce drastically. You can even feel it there and there. The way it's over time because vehicles do differ manufacturing.
Most definitely. But ULP93 maybe it's because of the prices. Price as compared to the refined one. Now, what measures has BERA put in place to ensure a smooth and efficient transition for both consumers and business involved in the fuel sector?
Well, as I indicated, this journey started 6 months ago, and in this journey, there were various public engagements, there were various consultations with the industry, and in the process as well, the business community was readying themselves by gradually reducing their stocks to ensure that come the 31st, which is yesterday, they were selling their last drops if they had any. But we've also realized that there could be some, especially in rural areas where the fuel high movie at the same rate like in busier areas, where they may still have a few liters that are still left in their tanks. Those we've communicated with them by contact, so they contact us, and when they contact us, we make arrangements how do they deplete that stock without actually encroaching too much into the period the 93. So that basically is us working with them to ensure that this product is as quickly as possible sold to the market and removed from their sites.
Right now, you partly answered what I'm about to ask you. How is the discontinuation of ULP93 affecting the average consumers, particularly those who own vehicles? They were ULP93.
Perhaps what I also need to indicate for Botswana is that although the older vehicles that were manufactured during the period of ULP93, the same vehicles can actually perform better with ULP95 because ULP93 was an older product, lower quality, if I may put it that way, but now you are introducing a better quality, which means that engine will also perform better. So those vehicles are not going to be affected, and the consumers should not feel any difference. I know that there is an issue here, Botswana, they like to use this statement, ULP95, but it's, like I say, it's just a myth. And sometimes I normally explain to people, maybe sometimes people look at the amount of fuel in monetary terms and not in volumetric terms.
Explain that.
And because when ULP95 is a little bit more expensive than ULP93, that means it gives you less liters, highly ULP95. The same 100 pula will give you less volume, highly ULP95 as compared to highly ULP93. And because of that, people then think ULP95. But if we're comparing liter to liter and not pula to pula, then perhaps things will be different.
All right. Now, what alternative fuel options are available for customers, and how are they expected to meet the needs of vehicle owners and the broader market, because there are still those staunch ULP93?
They will change. They will accept and understand that the product that is remaining in the market is actually a better product, and I believe with time people will adapt to this change, like we've done in the past. You'll recall in the past leaded petrol, lead replacement petrol, unleaded petrol. So those changes, as and when they were coming, the consumers would say no, and later they realize that actually the product is much better. ULP93, at the time that it was introduced, Botswana never preferred the older version of fuel.
Yeah.
When we phased out diesel, it was the same thing. During diesel 500 50 ppm, but Botswana have adapted. They use diesel 50 ppm with no issues. In the same way, we believe diesel ULP95 will be accepted. In fact, it has always been in use in the market, and it's just a matter of by ULP93. They will understand that ULP95 is just the same fuel. In fact, it's even of better quality than ULP93.
All right. Now, as we wrap up our conversation, what role does BERA play in monitoring the implementation of this change, and what enforcement mechanisms are in place to ensure that the transition is carried out smoothly by fuel suppliers at the end of the day?
Yes. The first thing that we are doing and working with other law enforcement agencies is to ensure that as from today there is no ULP93 that enters the country. That's the first thing, that ULP93 no longer enters the country. The second thing is to ensure that whatever volumes of ULP93 that may be remaining elsewhere in retail sites are all depleted and removed from those sites. And then going forward is also to ensure that these importers, especially the importers, they bring adequate stocks of ULP95, which is the only petrol product grade that will be in sale in the country. And when I say importers, is because you will recall that the importers have been importing more of ULP93 than ULP95, because ULP93 was in higher demand, basically for obvious reasons, because of its pricing. So because of its pricing, people would prefer it better than 95. But now suppliers or importers have to switch, or they had to make sure that they ramp up their volumes, their ULP95 volumes, and make sure that the ULP95 volumes surpass those of ULP93. This has been done gradually over time, and now they have to make sure that 100% of their petrol needs or their petrol sales is supplied by ULP95, which means it is also, the onus is also upon them to ensure that where they buy these products, they have secure contracts. They've made sure that they made adequate arrangements. They've replaced their ULP93 orders with ULP95, such that going forward, Botswana have feeling any difference at all.
All right. Now, as we wrap up, lastly, what are we assuring Botswana by where they thought they had options? Now they've got 95 as their only option to go to. With the supply, are we assured Botswana no, despite?
We can assure Botswana that fuel fuel, and we can also assure Botswana, when there are changes or when there are any challenges within the market, decisions will be made to mitigate against whatever risk that may arise. If at any point in time risk ya supplier ULP95, a proper decision will be made to ensure that Botswana do not feel the impact of that risk. It is mitigated before it reaches them. I need to highlight that going forward, we'll be assessing other new or other better grades that have developed in the market. Bonewo ULP98 will be assessing their availability in the markets, whether there are adequate supplies, whether the timing is right that we can introduce ULP98 in our country. We will be assessing the vehicle market more Botswana. One thing that we do, we also engaged the vehicle suppliers mo lehatsheng la rona, and we will continue engaging them and seeing whether their vehicles can now accept ULP98. And if everything being equal, the supply allowing, the vehicle, the market also allowing, then when the timing is right, we will introduce other grades as well.
Right, and that's how we come to the end of the conversation. Acting Chief Operations Officer from BERA, Ray Gift Bakumbi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.
And that is how we come to the end of this conversation. Don't move, I'm coming right back with the 7 o'clock news.
Bagaetso, hurt people will hurt other people. So let's break the cycle of violence. Seek help, even if you were abused many years ago. Do not wait for a volcanic eruption of your emotions. Say no to gender-based violence. It starts with you.
How are you?